Welcome back, aliens. My name is Davin Reddy, and in this video, we'll talk about, okay, you already seen that in the thumbnail or in the title. Basically, in this video, we'll talk about fake experience and the mass layoff which is happening in big companies. In fact, these companies which will look forward to join, in fact, most of the people have their dream to join these companies, and something is not right? I mean, of course, they are firing, they are doing structural changes to the companies, or maybe they are under recession. I'm not sure. I'm not a financial person to talk about recession here, but let's understand this. Majorly, we'll talk about fake experience because that's the recent news. And I got a lot of questions based on this. And it's not new for me. I've been into industry from 12 years, and then a lot of people have asked me about fake experience. In fact, let me share my experience from last 7 to 8 years. I've been doing training for different companies, MNCs, and online session as well for US candidates. And most of the time I used to get this question, hey, if they're doing a course with me to join the company, after the course or between the course when they feel confident, hey, I know a lot of technologies now, can I apply to a company by faking the experience? And I used to always say no. I used to give some reasons and I used to say, hey, it will affect your career. But then with the recent news, I think most of the people have the same issue. They want to give fake experience, or they are working in a company with a fake experience. And I want to talk on from both the sides, from the candidate side and from the company side, what they can improve. So let's start from the candidate side or as an employee. See, first of all, if you look at the profiles, if you go to different companies need now, in fact, if you look at startups, they only need skill set. If you see their job profiles, most of the time it will be based on skill set. They will need, hey, we are working on this new product and we want to hire people who knows Java or JavaScript or iOS or Rust. It doesn't matter what technology is, but they will mention the technology needed, right? Docker, Kubernetes, cloud, and Jenkins, or maybe Java frameworks. They will specifically mention this is what we need. Experience comes secondary for them. Right? They will not even mention that in a job profile. They might ask you when you get into interview, but then in the profile they don't mention. On the other hand, if you talk about big companies, they do mention that they need experience, 3 to 4 years, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years. And then this is where candidates, when they see job profile, they say, okay, Java is mentioned there, Docker is mentioned there, Kubernetes is mentioned there, Jenkins is mentioned there, and they feel, hey, I'm qualified for this job. I know all these technologies, and when they see they need experience of 3 to 4 years, and what they do is there are a lot of institutes. They also provide you fake certificate, fake experience. Not a big fan of them, but once you get fake experience, and when you join the company, you might clear the interview, right? Because in the interview they will ask you technical questions. They might also give you situations to solve, to check your thought process. But nowadays people are well trained how to answer questions. And again, I'm not a big fan of telling people how to crack the interviews. I might make some videos on it, but again, not a big fan of videos where it says how to crack the interviews. I might make some, but the thing is, even if you clear the interviews, the problem is when you join the company and then these people say they are hiring for experience, they have a reason for it. The moment you are on the floor, you're not a fresher anymore. You are a person with experience, at least for them. You know in your heart that you don't have experience. And then they will give you a task which an experienced person can do it. Just knowing the technology will not work. You have to also understand how a company works. You have to understand how different technology connects. Most of the time when you join the company, the product has already built. Maybe you have to provide support for it. Maybe the product is halfway done. You have to start from half. And that's where the problem starts, because when you learn something online or offline or watching the videos, what you learn is how to use the technology. You don't learn what if you get the situation where the project is half done, how will you continue? Of course, the company will give you KT, but we all know that doesn't work. You have to spend your own time to understand the project. And if you don't have the experience, you will struggle. And trust me, struggling will demotivate you. Of course, it's a point where you can also motivate yourself to learn fast, but it's not for everyone. And I have seen most of the companies, most of the employees, what they do is they outsource their work. So when boss gives you some task and you don't have the experience to do it, you will outsource it. How long you can do that? Let's say after 2 years, you're doing this for 2 years. And then after 2 years, when you're switching the company, you're basically joining a new company with the experience of 6 years, 4 years of fake experience and 2 real experience. And that too, you have outsourced it. You don't have any real experience. And that's where you will struggle with your career. That's where you will feel, hey, this is not the technology for you. And then you will start switching. Why to do it at the initial stage itself? Why can't you just join a company with the real experience? Yes, you will get a low package, but I feel that's a good thing. When you start your career with a low package, you can see the exponential growth. You can actually see your growth happening. When you get a high package at the start, you have to justify your package. Of course, right, when you join an experience with 4 years, you got a high package, the company will treat you as an experienced person and they will want to get the work done. And you're not able to do that. You're not doing good for your company, you're not doing good for yourself as well. So I always suggest don't give fake experience, go for the fresher job. And also if you think once you clear the interview, a company will not know that you have given the fake experience, they do. Big companies, they have a good background checks. They basically hire a third-party company and they give the job to them to check your background. Your employer, the certifications which you have completed, are they real? See, even I support internships. I have given a lot of internships to different people, not for the fake experience, but for the real experience, how to work on a project. What do you mean by building a project? How do you work in a team? How to efficiently work in a team? That's what we train people when they do internship, not to fake the experience. Okay. Now coming back to the mass layoff which is happening, again, you have seen multiple companies are doing that. The thing which I feel now is you have to be very strong with your skill set. It's not just learning a technology and done. A lot of people will say or feel that once they have mastered one technology and when they join the company, it's enough. No, you have to keep learning. IT is an industry where things are changing very fast. Technologies are changing very fast. Now you're working on one technology. In next 3 years, the technology will change. One of the best way to do that is when you are working on something, also look at the new technologies. What can come in your company or what technology can change the future? Start learning about it. Not by leaving your job or sacrificing your work. You have to do that. But parallelly, maybe give 1 or 2 hours a daily to learn new technology. That's how you can secure your job. Because see, companies, most of the time, they remove liabilities. They don't remove real talent. Some companies do that, which I've seen in the recent news. They have also removed people who are good in technologies, and those people will also get job very easily because they know something, right? Other companies are waiting to hire these candidates who just got fired from big company. But what about those people who are not having real skill set? Now, when they get fired, they find it very difficult to join different companies. And yes, at this point, they have a time to master their skill set by taking a gap of 6 months. And of course, for that, you need a backup as well with you. The other thing is, if you look at from the company side, I feel with this big company as well, now when you are looking for a job, when companies ask you what you have done, what is your future scope, they ask you what do you want to do in next 5 years. I think it's time for us to ask them, what is their vision? What they want to achieve in next 5 years? What is their company policies? How they are looking for the growth? Because if they are not looking for the growth, how you will grow in the company? Right? So it's time for us to ask the questions to the company. Now, coming back to fake experience, I also feel there's something wrong with the industry as well. Why they need experience in the job profile? They have to ask themselves before posting the job, do they really need someone with experience here or a fresher will do here? It's all about skill set, right? What if a person has a skill set and if you can train them properly? Because see, I have seen multiple companies that do that. And I go to those companies to train people on how to work on real projects. And I see the difference, before the training, after the training. Of course, they will not learn a new technology in 10, 15 days, but they will get the understanding, how to work in a team, how to understand the client requirements, how to understand the company culture. That's very important for everyone because it takes a lot of time for a person to understand how the company works. And let me know in the comment section if you have the experience and if you want to share with the new joinees. It will be helpful for them. I feel companies should look at this thing very seriously. Do they really need experienced candidates? Because if you want to hire someone for a specific role and if you don't need experience and if you still ask for the experience, you are basically inviting people with fake experience. Okay, and you might even not know that people have faked their experience. And it's basically affecting the entire culture. It's basically affecting the entire ecosystem. So for the people who are asking me about fake certificates, fake experience, please don't do that. It will affect your career. You might survive. There's a 5% chance that you will survive. 95% chance is in that maybe few percent chance the company will come to know. They will fire you. And because a lot of companies, they have a zero tolerance policy with this big experience, and you don't want that stamp on you, right? That you were fired from this company. So think about this before applying for fake experience. And I think big companies, it's time for you now to understand whenever you post a job profile, focus on the skill set, improve your interview process, and try to see what profile you need and do you get a really good candidate for that. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on fake experience and mass layoff. Please improve your skill set. It's a good time. Focus on new technologies, whatever you love, machine learning, mobile development, cloud, blockchain, please learn. And don't ask for suggestion what technology you should learn. Because see, even if I say, hey, blockchain is booming, learn blockchain, you can. In fact, you should get experience of learn blockchain for a few days or few months and see if you are liking it. Not switch to new technology. That's a good thing. Okay. So yeah, that's it from this video. I hope it made some sense, and let me know in the comment section. Bye-bye.